Hello, I'm Jersey Made 93. If this is your first time watching a video of mine, I want to say thank you and welcome to the channel. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. I hope all of you are doing well. Today's video is a continuation of the left stick dribbling video I dropped during the launch month for NBA 2K25 back in September. Part 1 covered how to discover left stick animations and left stick size ups. Part 2, we're going to cover moving left stick crossovers and moving left stick combos. Before we get into unlocking left stick crossovers, I know a lot of people struggle with getting size ups and preventing their player from moving too much when trying to use a left stick. So I want to first show you guys how to gain control and the mistakes that you might be making preventing you from using the left stick properly. Today we are using my unfinished build to demonstrate the left stick movements because I wanted to focus on the basic universal moves that most dribble styles can trigger. If you don't know, the left stick animations you can do are based on the dribble style you have. One dribble style is not necessarily better than the rest. Feel free to use whatever style you want, but one thing I gotta address is passive hand switches. A few people accuse me of having this setting on because of the fluidity in my dribbling in part 1. So I'm here to show you what this setting does when it's enabled, because I personally turned this setting off for a big reason I'll show later. And just to clarify, this setting was turned off in part 1. There was no assistance from the game when I dropped part 1. That is all me using just the left stick. So let's actually look at what enabling this does and why it's a benefit for certain players. When enabled, passive hand switching will do automated dribbling sequences for you, but only for a few seconds. To trigger these automated animations, all you have to do is move around the court and let the left stick go. Or you can trigger a left stick size up and the hand switching setting will kick in. You don't have to move the left stick to try to keep the dribbling sequence going. So if you're someone that struggles with the timing of the left stick moves, this setting might be for you. The drawback is, however, you have less control. So when a defender gives you an opening, you might not trigger the launch animation you want. Hey, it's re-editing Jersey here again. And I just gotta say, I kind of didn't really specify enough who should really have this turned on. I think if you're like a team control 2K gamer, if you play my team, play now online, you definitely should have this on, because unlike my career modes, you're using and dealing with multiple players and they all have their own individual animations, and it would take a lot of time for you to master everybody's individual left stick animation. So, and that's really what I think the purpose of the setting being created or implemented into the game is for, is so that you can have those fluid left stick animations without having to dedicate a whole bunch of time to it. But again, there is still a big benefit to learning how to trigger these animations, especially because you won't have access to the more advanced left stick animations that we are going to be talking about later on in this video. So I personally think it's not necessarily a white or black type of ordeal with this setting. I think some individuals, this is going to make the game a lot better if you enable it and if you turn it off, but you can be as smooth as if this setting is enabled if you just practice and just take your time with really learning the system. So that hopefully will help you guys understand what passive hand switching does. Let's move on now. In part 1, a lot of viewers said they struggled with the left stick size ups and they didn't know how to control those animations without moving. So I wanted to give a thorough breakdown on dribbling with the left stick properly. The first thing is, don't move the left stick left to right directly. I'm going to enhance my controller here so you can see how I'm moving the left stick in almost 45-degree angles and not directly up, down, left, or right. In part 1, I broke down how your stance determines which animations you have access to. So if you find yourself moving and you're trying to size up, pull down into the right or left, as you see here, to get into a stance where you can then size up. Another issue a lot of players ran into was the pressure on the left stick. Holding or pressing the left stick down firmly will cause you to move around the court instead of triggering your left stick size ups. If you want to size up with the left stick animations, you'll have to press the left stick gently. A lot of the focus in the comment section of part 1 was on left stick pressure, but honestly, timing and rhythm of the left stick dribbling moves is just as important for triggering the animation you want consistently. Another mistake a lot of players are making is that they're not keeping the rhythm of the left stick animations, the left stick dribbling moves. To master the rhythm of most left stick moves, you will have to focus on your player and try to keep his momentum with dribbling. The moment you press the left stick in a direction that doesn't align with his combo, or you're too late to trigger the next move, the combo will break. It's very similar to right stick size ups, and that's why I wanted to show you guys the Anthony Edwards combo at the end of part 1, so you guys can get a feel for how to combo in 2K. As I previously mentioned, the directions you'll have to move the left stick will change based on the dribble style. So I wanted to switch to Steph Curry style to demonstrate this. Moving directly up and gently rotating the left stick, we can trigger these forward tweens now that we couldn't do before with the Darius Garland style. But if I try to move left to right, I'm only going to get these hand switches that will carry me laterally. So instead of moving left to right from a forward movement, pull back in towards the 7 or 5 o'clock positions on the left stick to get into your size ups. Your rhythm will create fluid movement and combos as you see here. Please pay attention to the angles I'm rotating and moving the left stick. Try to stay away from moving the left stick directly towards the rim or sidelines unless you're trying to launch, since the left stick also controls your movement. That will take priority over sizing up if you hold the left stick for too long. This is why most crossovers and size ups are in those acute angles. Rotating the left stick will also help you maintain the proper direction to keep combos alive. Another mistake is only moving the left stick slowly or too fast. This is why focusing on the ball handler is probably the best piece of advice I can give you, because you'll pick up on the timing of your dribble style and know when to move the left stick at the right time. But typically for any left stick hezzy, you can trigger a quick size up if you move the left stick towards the opposite hand and back quickly. And if you're sizing up, you want to hold the left stick in any direction to launch out of it, and that will keep you in that smooth, fluid left stick combo. So to summarize, don't move the left stick directly to the left or right if you're trying to size up with the left stick. And to chain moves together smoothly, you have to know how to time your left stick inputs. Watch part 1 to learn how to discover left stick animations for any dribble styles. Now let's move on to some left stick combos. The most important left stick move you'll have to master is the quick stops. You'll need these animations in pick and rolls or when you're isoing. And as I mentioned in part 1, this is the move that you want to use if you're trying to quickly square up towards the rim and shoot. To quick stop properly, you'll want to head towards the rim and then pull the left stick down. If you're moving laterally, you'll want to move the left stick back to the opposite direction. The left stick doesn't just have a variety of standing dribble moves you can do. The left stick can also unlock signature moving crossovers. Animations aren't as randomized as you think. We'll start with Darius Garland's between the legs crossover, and then we'll look at this side by side to see the difference. Without holding turbo, if we pull down the left stick at a 45-degree angle, we'll get a between the legs cross. If we pull the left stick down for the between the legs cross, but hold it towards the sidelines, we'll do a variation that is more like a hezzy or stutter. And the same applies to front crossovers, because you can do animations that are a lot quicker compared to even your right stick moving crossover, or you could do some of these in between hezzy animations that you could use for a second burst of speed to get past the defender. So there's a lot of variations with the degrees and the animations that they will unlock. So that is something that you have to practice. Again, you don't really want to just use the left stick to just go up, left, right, or down. There's a lot of in between angles between each of those directions that I spoke about that will unlock different moves. So we know how to quick stop, but let's look at what happens when we use various timings for the same left stick combo, which is to simply drive left or right and then pull back to stop. The first combo is a slower tween stop to the left, then another slow one to the right. I hope you can notice I'm taking one dribble before pulling the left stick back. Now let's look at what happens if we cancel out that dribble and start a drive but then pull back quickly. If your timing is right, you should be able to pull off the drive fake. And once you have the left stick drive fake down, you could blend it into your other left stick moves and step backs. This is just one example of how timing can change your combo. I also got to add, you can also cancel a drive by holding back on the left stick, but you have to be driving directly towards the rim in a straight line first. The drive fake is only done when moving laterally or at an angle. And you can also trigger stopping size ups if you start a drive with turbo and then let go of the left stick. So you can see the importance of timing and how you can change the variation of your combos or even trigger different animations. Now I know this seems pretty intimidating, but it's really not. If you watch part 1, you know how to discover animations. You can get the feel for different dribble styles pretty quickly, especially if you're only using one dribble style. But just practice, take your time, you're going to get better. Trust me, you got this. The drive fake is just one of the few universal animations you can do. Another is the behind the back flip dribble. When I say universal animations, I mean an animation that pretty much anybody can do as long as you have a high enough dribble rating. This animation looks complicated, but it's simple to trigger. You again have to start a drive at an angle angle and not directly towards the rim, and then quickly hold the left stick down and back. You can then let the animation play out and drive, or you can shoot the basketball and use it as a quick stop. And just a little piece of advice for helping you get the timing of this animation: you want to try to pull back on the left stick as the basketball is in your hand, but you're starting the drive. Again, I know it sounds pretty complicated, but if you continue to practice, you'll get the feel for it. All right, you guys, if you guys enjoyed the edit, the gameplay footage, the information, and you just want to help a small channel grow, please drop a number 11 in the comment section, as well as a like. This really will help me continue to make NBA 2K25 tutorials. Now, outside of quick stops, you got to get this move down. This move has helped me a lot, and I think that this is going to be something that really separates you as a dribbler in 2K, and that is the left stick spin back. To trigger this animation, all we have to do is move laterally or away from the basket, and then rotate the left stick towards our opposite hand, and we will unlock the left stick spin back. This animation does unlock a few crossover combos that we're going to get into right here with Jalen Brunson. So to start this combo, what we're going to do is we're going to start by moving laterally across the basket, and then we're going to rotate the left stick to get the spin back. But as we're spinning back, we're going to move the left stick towards our right hand and quickly towards the left hand, and that's going to create that double crossover. And if you watch it in fast motion, you're going to see how quick all of this is happening and how shifty it can be. So this is just a really good combo for you to test out your progress with left stick dribbling, because it does require you to have some decent timing and some coordination with the left stick in terms of direction. All right, left stick moving combos is where you'll see a lot of the signature animations like this moving tween from Darius Garland's dribble style. The inputs can be the same, but the animations will be different. This is one way you can unlock a lot of the signature moves that can't be found in other dribble styles. And this is why in part 1 I was saying it's very difficult for me to tell you a specific input, because the dribble style is going to change what direction you need to move the left stick in. So I know somebody might still ask, which dribble style should I use? And I'll say it's going to depend on what kind of left stick dribbler you are. If you're someone that attacks well in transition, Ja Morant, Halliburton, and Kyrie have great left stick moving crossovers. If you're someone who is better at left stick size ups, Steph Curry has his behind the back launch that only he can do from left stick size ups. So it's just going to depend on you and what you have fun doing. Also, don't forget, these animations are from real NBA games, so players' unique play styles will align with how you'll want to play. A decent example is this decelerated hezzy by Ja Morant, which is a setup for a drive, not a jumper, because he's a quick slasher, versus Steph Curry's decelerated pullback that puts him behind the three-point line and the basketball in his left hand, because it's easier for him to shoot that way. Now, one thing I also want to give you guys a piece of advice on is knowing when to use certain left stick pressures to unlock certain animations and combos. So you're going to see right here in the Steph Curry clip that I'm going to mix in slow size ups into a quick launch towards the rim, but I'm going to pull back on the left stick to cancel it out. This combo isn't really super complex in terms of the left stick movement and direction. It's just really precise with the timing, and that's why I'm able to unlock this combo. I really wish it was something more special than that, but that's really what it is. Now, this is something that I really hope you guys didn't forget, but in part 1 I advise you guys to throw in the right stick during your left stick combos, or starting your left stick combos with the right stick, because this is going to help you do consistent left stick size ups and animations. And honestly, if you're trying to apply these moves online, or you're trying to do some special combo that you've seen, this is definitely something that you should use in game. It's going to be the easiest way to achieve that. Now, the last thing I will say, you can do a lot of these combos and animations strictly with just the left stick, but again, it's just much easier to use the right stick to initiate them. So the tutorial section of this video is coming to a close, but I am going to drop just all of my left stick animations online that you guys can see me using everything that I taught you guys in this tutorial. Now, I am going to start dropping exclusive members only content and early access videos like the online on-ball defense guide for you guys very soon who are channel members. If you want to join the channel and become a member, I will drop a link to that so that you can subscribe to the tier that you can afford. I appreciate any and everything. Thank you guys. But I want to give a shout out to the people who are already channel members, and I want to shout out that boy Swerve, VW Van World DT, Trey Rance, It's Quan, JB, E Coast 45, Kevin Brown, Arrow Dadad, Cameron Dunlap, Ace Boogie 027, Y'all boys have been supporting the channel for a minute, and I definitely thank you guys, because without you guys' support, I would not be able to drop the content that you guys are getting right now. So shout out to the channel members. And again, if you want to support the channel and get more content, get exclusive content, one-on-one coaching, and much more, subscribe at the tier that you could afford. I'm Drizzy 93. Peace.